Hi everyone, it's Bartek Cave here, and today I am going to show you this little knife right there, and I'm gonna compare a good knife to a bad knife. What's the difference and why should you invest your money into something like this instead of maybe something like this? Okay, alright, so let's do a little bit of an unboxing experience. And since the very start it feels premium. When you open that, basically you can tell that there has been some thought put into the process of opening this knife. Alright, here you have your axis lock, whatever. And here's the knife itself. It looks just gorgeous. It's absolutely magnificent, and the mix of carbon fiber and the S90V steel in satin finish, it looks just gorgeous. Let's put that aside for a second and compare it to a Chinese meteor knife, I guess. I don't know where it came from, but this has some cool backstory to it. That was my first knife ever, and I was like 11 and I made my parents buy me this stuff when we went to a mount hiking store, I guess, and asked them, can I get a knife? Because I was like all into Bear Grylls at the moment, and I just loved Bear Grylls, survival, things like that. And I told them that I would like to have a knife, and they were like, are you mature enough? Are you responsible? Aren't you going to cut yourself with this? And yeah, I said, I promise I'll be responsible. And don't get me wrong, for that time, this knife, that was amazing. That was like $15 back in the day, and it's not bad at all. Probably it's gonna serve most of people well, and it's gonna do the job. It's gonna cut your package open, and it's gonna do it just fine. But when you hold that in hand, and I'm not talking only about the weight, you can tell how much more premium this thing is compared to the Chinese kind of knife. And let's put that aside, and it's even more visible when you take something like, say, Benchmade 42, and you compare that to that. Yeah, that has seen some better times. There's duct tape all over it, and yeah, don't get me wrong, this even brand new, this is uncomparable. This has highest quality materials. It's really something different. And you could ask yourself, why should I even bother investing $100 to $500 into a knife when I can get this and it's gonna do the job just fine? But the problem is, the second you buy that, it's gonna lose all its value. You just threw your money away. But this one, with this box, with the papers, this is gonna hold this value for a lifetime. You can pass this to your kids and they're gonna be able to sell this and probably make profit off of it, because Benchmade has been known for decades to produce high quality knives that are gonna prevail no matter what. This is gonna serve you during the wartime, during peacetime. You can go and take this to a dinner with your future wife parents, and they're gonna be like, oh my god, our daughter is hanging with somebody cool. So basically, let's move to the review on the Osborne. I've been dreaming about this knife for quite some time, and this is an upgrade from my EDC at this moment, which is Benchmade Griptilian, and I simply love this knife. I trust it with my life, and you could take this to jungle, wherever, and you could basically perform any kind of task you need to do with this knife. It has served me well and probably will for decades to come. I love that, and probably will never sell it. But I wanted to have something which will feel a little bit more premium, and let's put that aside and compare only Griptilian and Osborne. You can see it's quite smaller and it's very swifty. The action is very smooth on both of these knives, so it's really no big deal. It's pretty much the same here and here. So when it comes to action, it's pretty much the same, but the quality of materials used for both these knives is amazing. But with Griptilian you get S30V blade, while in Osborne you get S90V, which is quite an upgrade. This probably will never need a sharpening in my lifetime with my usage of knives. I really care for my knife. I will not abuse my knives. I will use all my knives, but I will not abuse them. But a huge downside to this was that it came without a single drop of lubrication, like whatsoever. And I was like pissed at that, because a knife that costs $300 should come out of the box ready to flash and sing, and that's not what this knife did. It was dry as desert. No big deal. I just oiled that within 20 seconds, but that's the only major downside I can see in this knife, because other than that, this feels amazing in hand. I highly recommend that. All the specs will be in the description below, so I will not get into details except for blade and handle material. I can also talk about one thing I noticed, that when this was brand new, because I love buying my knives brand new, I care for them, and when they have even tiniest bit of dent, I freak out. So basically I like them brand new. If I did this when this was brand new, this got stuck and I could not even move the axis lock. So basically what I needed to do is, this needed like 1 week of break-in time, while I didn't have to do that with this knife. This had 0 break-in time. It was ready to go the moment I oiled it, so that's a big plus. So in general, would I recommend getting this knife over this knife? 1,000,000%. If you could get this one or this one and you have the money and you can afford that, I say go for it. This, if you try to use it hard way, this is gonna break on you. You cannot trust that. And the liner lock, it's something I wouldn't trust with my life necessarily. In general, this knife is not something I would trust. I mean, would I use it? Probably yes, probably it's gonna serve me just fine, but it's like, if you want something that you can trust, that you will use for decades, it's not gonna break on you, and will do the job no matter how hard it is, go get a Griptilian or Osborne. But is this worth? Because this costs double that Griptilian does. And is that worth this extra money? I want to say no. If you don't like the look, if you just want a knife that is going to perform well and is going to be trustworthy, get a Griptilian. Or maybe a Spyderco, something within a $100 to $150 range, and it's gonna serve you just fine. But if you're like me and you're a knife freak and you love all crazy kind of materials, premium feel and shit like that, this is going to be amazing. You can show this to someone, knife people, not knife people, and they're gonna be like, oh, this looks amazing. They're gonna probably think it's $100 tops. People in general, from my experience, are not familiar with the prices of knives nowadays, but it's okay. It's okay. Not everybody needs to be a knife freak, but I want to say, if you're a knife freak, if you're a knife person and you like to collect knives, or you in general like quality stuff like I do, I want to highly recommend this knife, so you will not be disappointed. So thank you very much. That was all I wanted to say in this video. Please leave a like, please leave a subscription, and all the specs for this knife are gonna be in the description below. Check out also my other social media, and see you next time. Bye!